The Council Assembly. The Grand Council Chamber of the Galactic Union was a cathedral of light and logic, a ring of delegates representing 1,000 worlds. For centuries, disputes were settled here through calm speech and reason. That changed the day humans arrived. The Council had expected savages from a death world. Instead, humanity came dressed in suits, smiling, apologizing for everything. They said please before speaking and thank you before leaving. They held the doors for species that didn't have hands. They were unfailingly polite, infuriatingly so. Most of the council saw them as harmless. Others saw them as weak. They were wrong. The insult. It began with a border dispute between the Vrax Dominion and Terran Trade Authority. A Vrax warlord accused humans of violating sovereign space. The evidence was forged, but that didn't matter. The council convened to hear the charges. The human ambassador, Elena Kovacs, stood before them, calm, poised, her translator implant humming softly. "Honored delegates," she began, "the Terran Authority seeks only peace. We apologize if our survey drones crossed your borders. It was unintentional." The Vrax representative, a massive reptilian creature named Jurkal, slammed a clawed hand on the table. "Lies! You humans spread like infection. You pretend civility while poisoning the stars." Murmurs rippled through the chamber. Kovacs bowed her head slightly. "We regret that you feel that way," she said. To those who knew humans, the phrase was a warning. To those who didn't, it sounded submissive. Jurkal grinned. "You beg for forgiveness like prey." The breaking point. For years, humanity had endured insult from elder races. Deathworlders, they called them barbarians in suits. Humans always smiled, always apologized. But everyone has a limit. When Jurkal spat, literally, at Ambassador Kovacs' feet, the chamber gasped. She stood motionless, eyes closed. Then she straightened. Her voice lost its warmth. "Record this to the minutes," she said. "The Terran Authority withdraws its request for mediation. The situation will be resolved directly." "Resolved? How?" asked the chair being. Kovacs looked at him. "Efficiently." The switch. Outside the chamber, human delegates received a coded signal. The translation was simple. Polite mode, off. Every Terran vessel orbiting the Council world went dark. Communications cut. Engines stopped. Silence spread across the system like a breath held too long. Jurkal laughed. "Your ship's power down? You surrender." Kovacs smiled, the kind of smile predators make before striking. "No, they're waiting for me to finish speaking." The demonstration. Moments later, the chamber lights flickered. The holofeed above the dais shifted to a view of deep space. A fleet emerged, not the gleaming diplomacy cruisers a council knew, but Terran Defense Command ships. Black-hulled, angular, alive with red light. No music, no announcement. Just hundreds of vessels exiting FTL in perfect synchronization. One of the council aides whispered, "By the stars, they came armed." Kovacs spoke evenly. "The Terran Authority does not wage war lightly. We prefer diplomacy, compromise, and patience. But when patience is mistaken for weakness..." She tapped her wrist console. The holofeed zoomed in on a nearby asteroid field, a Vrax outpost blinking with activity. In seconds, Terran drones appeared, streaks of light weaving through the debris. Then the entire outpost vanished in a silent flash. We respond decisively. The reaction. Half the council erupted in outrage. The other half watched in stunned silence. Jurkal roared, "You dare strike a member world of the council?" Kovacs turned to him, expression serene. "You attacked our people, forged evidence, and spat on the treaty that protects us all. The council did nothing. We acted." The chair being hissed, "Ambassador, this is aggression." "No, she replied softly. This is clarity. The truth of Deathworlders. For the first time, the Council saw humanity without the mask. Humans weren't gentle because they couldn't be fierce. They were gentle because they knew what they could become. Their politeness wasn't submission, it was restraint. Their patience wasn't weakness, it was mercy. And now, that mercy was gone. Every Terran representative in the chamber stood in unison. Kovac's voice carried across the hall like a bell of judgment. You asked what happens when Deathworlders stop being polite? This. Nothing left but efficiency and precision. The aftermath. In the days that followed, the Vrax Dominion surrendered. Their fleets refused to fight. Their soldiers, terrified by the precision of Terran retaliation, mutinied before the first battle began. The Council issued sanctions against humanity. Humanity ignored them. Instead, they rebuilt a destroyed outpost, stocked it with supplies, and left a plaque that read, We do not seek dominance. We seek respect. Do not mistake one for the other. The return to the Council. Weeks later, Ambassador Kovacs returned to the same chamber. The chair being's tone was cautious now. Ambassador, we trust no further hostilities are planned. Kovacs smiled politely again, the mask restored, but now everyone knew what it hid. Of course not. Humanity prefers peace. But we've learned that peace requires boundaries. And if those boundaries are crossed, then we remind the galaxy, she said, why Deathworlders are better friends than enemies. The lesson, history recorded that day as a polite mode incident. It became mandatory study material in every diplomatic academy. The phrase polite mode off entered galactic slang, a universal metaphor for when patience finally ends. And in quiet corners of the galaxy, when new civilizations met their first Terran envoys, they all remembered the same unspoken truth. When humans smile, they mean peace. When they stop smiling, it's already too late.